Hello, and Happy New Year. Wanted to get talking to y'all right after the new year. For those that don't know, my name is Sean Albert Henry. My friends call me Hank. Many of you might know me as the wannabe rapper, comedian, actor, Hank Tate. Um, Many of you might know me as your yogi instructor, Hank. And that's exactly all of those things are exactly why I wanted to talk to you today because I know that's a weird resume to be, chief financial officer, ad agent, rapper, yogi. But when you put them together, you make me, and they've made me these all these different avenues I've been in. I've definitely made me see the world different, and I've really changed my purview. And the reason that I'm making this video now, because as many of you that do know me personally know, I don't make videos. I'm usually behind the scenes. I don't. I help a lot of other businesses sell things online, but I'm normally not out in front myself. But one of my good friends was talking to me, and they put me on to some different motivational speakers, and one of them kind of got to me, and it said, "You can't lead from the rear." So this is me standing up, going to the front to provide some leadership because I think a lot of times it's easy to give suggestions, but it's harder to step up and lead by example, and try to motivate people. And with the conversation I had with my grandma just yesterday, she was talking about me motivated and, you know, that being my calling to motivate people. And I never, ever thought of myself as a motivational speaker, but after talking to some other people, and a lot of the work I've done in schools and things like that, I get a lot of feedback of, I wasn't doing this and then you motivated me to do this, or things weren't going my way and I was motivated. So yeah, this is some motivational talk right here. This is to motivate everybody that's listening, and hopefully motivate them to tell others and spread the word. And the word I want to talk about right now is enlightenment and mindfulness as it pertains to finance. I know a lot of people right now are, new year, new me, looking to improve their health, looking to improve their wealth and improve their happiness. And I just so happen to work in different fields where I'm helping people with with those things all the time, consistently helping people be healthier and consistently helping people be wealthier, and helping people have the right mindset to make sure that actually makes them happy. But it always doesn't work out that way. What especially what I've noticed is a lot of people don't, even though they have the desire, they don't have the know-how. You want to get in better shape, but you really don't know what to do. And there's so many people telling you so many different things. Eat carbs, don't eat carbs. Eat dairy, don't eat dairy. That it's hard to know. And especially when it comes to finance, we find those same issues. And a lot of people just, with their belief system, it's easier to lump it, The love of money is the root of all evil. And some people misquote that and think that money is the root of all evil, and let's hate the rich people. And I've seen a lot of that over the last year. And, especially here in the U.S., we had an election that brought a lot of those things and a lot of other issues to the surface. And I've been motivated to not be quiet anymore. I had some very good friends push me to even make this video and make the book or the program series that's behind it. And the main thing that I want to talk to everybody about is having that enlightenment. And the title that I'm giving this program is The Bull, the Bear, and the Baby. And mindful guide into financial feng shui and economic enlightenment. And I was just recently listening to a video by the owner and founder. I believe his name is John Hope. He runs a Hope organization. It's like helps people with financial knowledge. And one thing he was talking about was civil rights. You know, that part of being in this country, you know, you have civil rights, but also you have silver rights. You know, understanding financial literacy is part of your rights here as a United States citizen, and or you know, a citizen of the world. And you know, he has started, and a lot of other people that I've been working with have started initiatives to teach financial literacy. I've been part of them. You know, I've worked with New York City's World of Money, and you know, I've worked in the some of my local schools here. You know, I live in a Philadelphia suburb, and the main thing that I noticed is, you know, beyond showing up in a suit, which there's a reason I don't have a suit on now, which most people I know you used to probably seeing me in some fancy suit, but beyond showing up in a fancy suit, which is intimidating enough, finance is intimidating. It is hard to know, you know, bond yields, derivatives, credit swaps, interest rates, all these things that people talk about when you watch CNBC or you listen to whatever business channel you have, and it's overwhelming. That was the number one thing I got from a lot of people, that it's overwhelming, which, you know, when I was talking to some of my clients, we thought it was kind of shocking that talking finance and understanding geopolitical things are overwhelming for most Americans, but we can talk sports. We can talk sports till we're blue in the face. We know what somebody hit 5 years ago in farm league. You know what I mean? We know, and that's what I want to affect with this kind of the barbershop talk. If you can talk about what LeBron did last night and what Steph Curry did last night, then you should be able to equally be able to talk about what AIG did last quarter and what Merck or Pfizer or whatever business that is out there is doing, and be able to speak with the same fluidity. You know, so, you know, barbershop talk, coffee shop talk, talking finance should be just that easy as talking sports or anything else that we know. However, I think that a lot of people don't have the lexicon, they don't have the rubric to actually talk about it, so it's easier just to forget it. Oh, that's what them rich people are doing. They're trying to take advantage of us. But these principles are here for everybody, and having the mindset to learn them is what this is all about. You know, and a lot of things that are on the internet that talk about finance or starting your own business are just, they're lies. You know what I mean? These people are talking about, oh, in, you know, 30 days I made $30 million. They're lying. That's not how it works. You don't get strong off of one push-up, and you are not going to master business and finance in one day. You know, it's just not going to happen. So I think that to really help folks is to be honest with them, and to really help folks is to take all these, you know, relative moving averages and all these hyperboles we talk about, and is it trading towards its 20-day trend line, and just throw that all out the window and make things as simple as possible so people can understand them. So with this series, and it's evolving, you know, book, seminar, workbooks, workshops, whatever we get going, what it's about is taking fairy tales and child stories and things you might have heard in Sunday school, or, you know, and stories that we all know, and helping making things in finance relatable, you know? Like, for example, using the story of the three little pigs to talk about risk management, insurance, and properly setting up a business and things of that nature. So that's what this is all about. The bull, the bear, and the baby. A mindful guide to financial feng shui and economic enlightenment. And what I want for you, for everybody that's hearing this to do, is to get empowered from it. Join the conversation somewhere on this page, because this is going to be on a web page. So either you're seeing it on YouTube, and in the whatever comment summary section we'll have links. And if you're actually on the website watching right now, you'll see a join link. First thing I want you guys to do is to join the conversation for a couple reasons. To have a conversation, I didn't want to just have a ebook that you would download, because I know me. I download it and might not read it for forever. So we try to make it real simple media. You can listen to it. Soon the video will be coming so you can watch it. But I want to spread the word, and I want to get this group as large as possible, as quick as possible, so that we can spread the word bigger. So couple things. I want you to join. There is a fee to join. It's $10. Some people ask, well, why didn't you do it for free? And there's a reason. Actually, part of the story is why I didn't do it for free. I could easily put this stuff all out on YouTube or whatever. But what I've noticed, and I've done a lot of, free financial teaching and things like that. And what I noticed is people value things right about at the amount of what they pay for it, and things that are given free are often looked at as being worthless, So I do want you guys to it's a cup of coffee, it's a couple cheeseburgers it's a pack of cigarettes, whatever you want to equate it to. But the whole point of it is for A, to assign some value to it. B, I'm trying to build this up, and I went to go the traditional route to get published, and I tried to talk to some other media outlets to get this idea off the ground, and trying to get a publishing deal. As anybody that's in the music business, it's the same as being a no name and trying to get a record deal. So in this aspect, I could really use your help. Spread the word. I'm going to call everybody I know. Spread the word, and I want to get as many members as possible. So hopefully next week or shortly thereafter, we can say, okay, there's 50,000, 100,000 people that are part of this community, and that'll give us more leveraging power to talk to the larger media outlets to spread the word even further. So and also just to respect to my other clients, a lot of this information, and I'm going to be doing a webinar that everybody that joins will be able to tune in for free. But last webinar I did last year, the price was $600 to be a part of it, and I didn't go as deep in the information as what I'm doing now for $10. But nobody complained about the price because they understood the value in it, and a lot of things that we predicted in that last webinar have come to pass. Predicted who was going to be president, predicted where the stock market was going to be, predicted a lot of the things that you saw going on, as far as violence and fear and terrorism. Those things were easily for me to predict, and once I showed my clients, it's easy for them to predict because there's economic indicators. The writing is on the wall. And the question is, do you know how to read it and take advantage of it? So that's what this is all about. This is using, Three Little Pigs and a Little Red Riding Hood to explain global economics and forecasting. And also, the most important part for me, at least, is the mindset and the mindfulness of it. Working in big corporations like Merrill Lynch and AT&T and things like that, I made a lot of money, and I met a lot of people that made tons of money, that were miserable. I always talk to my kids about all the broke doctors I used to work with, making $500,000 a year, spending $600,000 a year. I talk to them about all the miserable millionaires I met. I mean, legit millionaires that are just miserable because they don't have the mindfulness. They don't understand how the universe works. They don't understand how to cultivate their own happiness. And then they're trying to fill a hole with money or other things that money can never do. Money is just human energy that we transfer. But if you don't understand how it works, it could be very detrimental. especially in our society. And I'm one of the terrible people making all these advertisements. And what I tell my kids about the way ad game works is our whole purpose as ad agents is to tell you you ain't crap. You know what I mean? You ain't crap if you don't have this sweater. You ain't got this watch. You don't have this phone. You don't have this car. You ain't. So we have to breed consumerism. But once you're able to be mindful, have a little feng shui, understand in your own heart where that level of enough is, then you can truly experience wealth. But, if you have a hole in your heart and you haven't addressed why it's there, 10 million, 100 million, 100 billion will never fill it up. And, on the other side of that, there is no pleasure in poverty, I was in corporate America making a lot of money and feeling miserable, so I got to get out of corporate America. You know what? Not making all that money didn't make me feel better. I actually felt more miserable because now I know what the good steak tastes like, and I don't want to get ground chuck. So the whole point of what I'm trying to put out here and work with is to help people live healthier, happier, wealthier lives by understanding these concepts. They're so easy. That's what I was trying to tell people when I would work. When I was working at Merrill Lynch, I remember this one call. This guy was a plumber, janitorial services, not a plumber, a janitor who did janitorial services. And I know you guys are janitors, Merrill Lynch account. Yeah, some rich janitors, you know what I mean? You'd be surprised, custodial services, you get enough buildings, you're rolling in the dough. And I explained to him how I manage, a growth strategy. And he's like, so that's it? You just look at what companies are making money, get the estimates on how much money they're going to make in the future, and then you put your money behind the people that are going to make the most. Yeah, I thought it was this, and you get this, whole chart put in front of you, like a periodic table of all these asset classes, and brokers and people in finance, we got to use big words, and we got to make it seem complicated, because if you knew how easy it was, we'd be out of a job. And that's the main thing right now, is that no matter where you're at in life, you are, people, I hate corporate America, I hate finance. Listen, you're part of it no matter what. You want to get a cup of milk, you want to get a piece of bread, you're part of capitalism. And there's no real escaping of it. But the way that the game has been made is to keep you disenfranchised. And that's one thing I had here that I wanted to discuss with everybody. Everybody, I'm looking on social media and I see everybody complaining about 2016, all the celebrities that died, how terrible 2016 was. Oh, it was the worst year ever. We hate who got elected. Oh, we're happy who got elected. Everybody's got something to complain about, right? And then this article right here, which I'm sure probably you can't see, but you can go Google it. I believe that it is on Investopedia. But it showed that the rich added $237 billion to their net worth. The 400 most wealthy humans on planet Earth added another $237 billion with a B to their net worth. The number one guy being Warren Buffett. So while everybody's worried and everybody's whining, Warren's out here wheeling in more dough. Do you think any of those people are complaining about how awful 2016 was? No. It's all advertising. On the news, how horrible it is. How scary the market is. How messed up the economy is. If the economy's so messed up, where'd they get their $237 billion from to add to the billions they already had? It's all a setup. And once you see how things are set up, then you can take power from them. You can feel calm and with ease. And everything that's in this series is all about helping take these complex things and make them as easy as possible. In fact, as you'll hear, the whole lecture I do with my sons. Their age is 9, 11, and 13. And we took some very complex financial ideas from how to run a growth strategy, how to make money in a down market, how to put together proper risk management and hedges. Very complex financial ideas that after an hour and some change, these boys understood. So I hope it does the same for you, that for people that might feel that finance is for them over there, that it brings that same peace to you, that you can understand it. It's something that's real easy. And for all the parents out there, and I'm really specifically talking, not only the people that I don't know, but my personal friends and family, I want you to all take this to your kids, like have this be a way that you could have discussions with your kids. It might be hard to talk about time value of money, future earnings, and how to properly price bond derivatives with your kids. But you know the story of Goldilocks. And if you could tell the story of Goldilocks to your children in such a way that they understand finance and save them the almost 40 years that it took me to get this information, then what a world. When they're empowered and they've got all these tools that they could use, and then to be able to go and put them towards to good use. So that's what it is. Also, I wanted to say a couple thank yous before I got off of here. Wanted to thank my mom. This whole idea actually came from my mom. So 2 years ago, when I was still grinding in corporate America, and then I got out and I was doing anything but business. She kind of had a come to God conversation with me. It's like, you know so much. You know how to do all this stuff, and your family really could use your help. I got uncles and cousins and people that are in financial straits, or people that have earned a lot on their jobs and they have no idea how to invest now, because there's no such thing as pensions anymore. So you are going to have to learn how to invest regardless. If you got money in a 401k, you're an investor. You might not be, in the best position as an investor, but you're already in the game. And she's like, you was really pleading with me to help, and during that time I was kind of like, I tried already. I tried to talk to, I tried to talk to people at the family reunion. I tried, and they don't get it. And, with that, I went also, and it was even recent as last week, 2 years later, my mom was talking, and she was actually the one that was like, I was like, oh, well, I'm actually starting to do some of the stuff you said. I'm getting back into really not just high-end financial management. And that was my problem at Merrill Lynch, You couldn't be my client at Merrill Lynch if you had less than $250,000 of liquid assets. So a lot of my people couldn't even be my clients. And that never made me feel good. And I think it was ultimately why I left, because I felt so alone. And so I've been trying to get some way that I could get this information in people's hands in a way that they could afford. And right when I thought I had it, because another person I want to thank is Christine, the owner of my yoga studio, had asked me to do a seminar. She said, could you do a seminar where you bring finance and yoga together? I was like, okay, that sounds kind of hard. But it made me start thinking of trying to weave mindfulness and what the mindset it really takes to build finances. And, so right when I started writing for that, I actually had come up with this idea called Buddha is my banker, I think is what it was. And, I started telling my mom about it, and she was like, that's real nice, but, why don't you do something for kids? Like, always up in the game, And I was like, all right, so how am I going to make all of this stuff that I'm trying to get now and condense it for children? And after, a lot of trying to figure it out, and some other good friends like my man Kevin and my man Matt and my man Quinn hit me with all sorts of ideas and motivational videos, it just finally came to me, to use these nursery rhymes and things like that. And, and with that, I'd also like to thank my grandma, because she's the one that kind of really put the fire under me to motivate yourself, and motivate others. And it's really funny because I used to answer this is old school, where there was just one phone in the room. where I would answer the phone at my grandma's house. I lived at my grandma's house, for a while, and I'd answer the phone, and Sister Adams from church would answer the phone like, "Hello, your grandmother there?" She said, "Your mother there," because she didn't know I was a grandkid. I know. And every time I'd answer the phone, Sister Adams would be like, "Hey, are you a preacher?" No, Sister Adams, I'm not a preacher. And she said, "You sound like a preacher." Oh, that's very nice. And now I guess I found my sermon. you know, uh, I was talking to my grandma yesterday, and she's, you meant to do this, anointed to do this. This is what you were supposed to do. If you weren't meant to do this, you wouldn't be in the places that you were at. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to work at Merrill Lynch and learn wonderful investment strategies from awesome people like Dave Malik. Even the idea with the sheep, people are sheeple. That phrase actually was given to me by a man named Scott Swift that I work with at Merrill Lynch. You might not know him, but you probably know his daughter, Taylor. And so I've had some wonderful opportunities to work with some fabulous people to learn some information that just wasn't available to me in my neighborhood and where I came up. Since I've been out of school, every job I've had, I didn't even know it existed before I left my hometown. I didn't know you could be an ad agent. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know a stockbroker was a thing, that rich people had people that just worked all day trying to give them ideas to get them more rich. Did not know that existed. And so, yeah, I mean, whatever I could do, because I really do feel that, however you believe in, the universe, the source, God, whatever you call it. I had a really, life-threatening car accident a couple of years ago. Well, not last year, a couple months ago, I guess, where I couldn't drive. I still haven't driven since, but it really, messed me up, as far as concussion. I lost standard deviations in my intelligence, which anybody that knows me, being smart's my whole game, and I couldn't do basic math. And in there, I kind of on that table when I was down, whatever, and I'm in the hospital, things are touching and going. You start, I don't care how much religion you didn't have before, you start praying and start bartering with God, right? Yeah, you let me live through this, I swear. ... Well, everything worked out, so I kind of owe him. So ever since that accident, I've been working in service, working and helping schools, working and helping other people live better lives. And I hope that this can be of service, because I really do believe that this is why I'm here. I mentioned it before. Good friend of mine, Quinn, put me on to this wonderful guy, C.T. Fletcher, bodybuilder. And when I was watching him, he had a similar, life and death story. And we were talking about being on borrowed time. I feel that I'm definitely here on borrowed time. And I'm here to do something. And I see how much pain and struggling and suffering is out there. And I hope that in learning these principles and learning how to do these strategies and things of that nature and having the right mindset, that some of this pain, struggle, and strife can be eliminated. And that's the bottom line. So please join up. Please tell everybody you know. Please help this thing grow. And I hope that everybody is healthier, wealthier, and happier because of it.